Before I could progress to making the bed, I needed to decide where my studs are going to be. So I've just screwed in 2 studs here. This is the rough opening for my door, and they're put in place with pocket holes. That pocket hole jig is my new favorite toy. Basically 3 screws on each end of the studs there. 2 on one side, 1 on the other, and then just some wood glue. So I've screwed in 2 vertical posts here on either side. They're just screwed into the wheel wells there, and these support the bed on either side. And there'll be a small section on both sides that goes back that way, and then the space in the middle will be filled in just with boards going across so that they can be removed and something large, say a motorcycle, can be brought inside here. Opposite these 2 vertical studs for the bed, I've screwed 2 brackets into the studs on the walls opposite. I've gone ahead and linked those 2 up there with a cross beam. This is what the slats for the bed will actually rest directly upon. I've added a second set of supports on the left-hand side of the vehicle. Now I haven't done the same on the right because this side will not be symmetrical. The bed doesn't make it all the way across, so I'm going to start on this side and work my way, start at the head of the bed basically, and work my way to the toe. So I made some mistakes when measuring out the framing for the bed, and I've had to fix them by changing out the size of block that I've got going to the stud. The bed actually needs to go just beyond here, which is a little bit unfortunate. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, so you'll actually probably be able to see that when the doors open or something like that, but it's not that big a deal. Now everything is straight and plumb. I intend to cut this 3/4 inch plywood board into the slats for the bed. Okay, so here are the middle slats like these. These aren't screwed down, they're just put in place like this, and I'll connect them up with a piece of webbing across them at one point so they can be rolled up into one part. Most of them are made out of plywood, but this one up here at the front, which will be visible, is just a piece of 2x4 material that was actually cut at perfect dimensions to fit across there already. I didn't do that on purpose, it just happened. So it's going to end up just sort of being like the front framing and look for it. And then I'm going to have in between these ones going this way and this way permanent slats that are screwed down to these 2 boards here. Okay, so I've just cut some pieces to do a test fitting here, and this is what the bed will look like. This gives you a good idea of how this works. Okay, so I've just brought the mattress into the van here so that I can find out exactly how far I need to make this bed project back that way, and it's not as long as I thought it would be, so this should be fairly simple. Let's play a little game. Drink every time I replace this bracing with something. So I added this bit of L-shaped framing here as well, and this means that I can put another board going across at whatever point along here makes sense for the bed. Okay, so that's the perfect length for the bed there, and I've just screwed a second beam in place. I've screwed down the first board, and basically what I'm doing is I'm putting the spacers down like this, screwing in the board, and then I'll keep going like this. So the framing for the head of the bed is complete. It's time to do the foot. I finished the foot framing. This is what the bed looks like when it's taken apart. So if I wanted to bring something in, say I'm helping someone move or I'm going somewhere with my motorcycle, I can bring the motorcycle inside of the van here. And this is completely open. You can walk right through that and there'll be a door here. There we go. All of the slats are in place, and this is what it looks like when the bed is assembled. So I've just placed the mattress down on top of the bed, and it's great. It's got the perfect amount of height. I can sit right up in bed, and even with the door closed, I've got a little bit of headroom. Lying down on it's fine. The slats do make some creaking noises, and even one sort of made a little bit of a cracking noise. I'm a little concerned about that, but I'm going to wait to see if that kind of just goes away with use, because it's not like they're all going to break and I'm going to fall through. Well, guess what? I found the one that was making all the noise. And yeah, it was the one that was right here. So I'm gonna have to cut another one, and hopefully that one doesn't break. So I've added 3 strips of cloth here, which have just been stapled to each of the boards. This is actually some hemming material that I had left over from something, but I'm never going to use it again, so I'm just going to reuse it for this purpose, and for this it works just fine. One thing that I noticed is that this has a tendency to fall off, so that's been solved. Basically, it can't come off the front now, and in the final piece it will be even harder because there'll be boards that come up here. Another useful thing that it does for me is that when I lift these all up and move them out of the way, they're going to stay in a neat bundle, they're going to stay together, which is really good. So that's where I'm going to end today's video. Lying down in my new bed, it's a great feeling, I tell you. Now, as soon as this wall here has something other than cold Canadian air coming through it, once there's insulation in there, I really look forward to trying this out for real.